one name for this age no one can argue. This is the nuclear age. The age of the always present threat of instant and total annihilation. How did we get here? How did it all begin? It was born in another time, in a world like this. 1945, a global war fought by great navies and armies, great numbers of men and weapons, as wars had always been fought. Until 8:15, on the morning of August 6, 1945, when a single plane carrying a single bomb opened the age we now live in. The decision to drop an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima was perhaps the most important decision of our time. The controversy it stirred has gone on with rising intensity ever since. How was the decision made? Why was it made? Could the instant destruction of Hiroshima of 70,000 Japanese men, women, and children have been avoided? In the spring of 1945, it was known that an atomic bomb would be made. All that remained was to decide whether and how to use it. This is the story of the 135 days of that decision. The first day, April 12, 1945.
We interrupt this program with a special bulletin. Our press association has announced that President Roosevelt is dead. The president died of a cerebral hemorrhage. All we know is that the president died in Warm Springs, Georgia.
He has been president for 12 years, longer than any other man. He is the only president many have known. Now, on this April afternoon, with the United States at war around the world, he is suddenly gone. Now someone else must make the life and death decisions. The vice president is almost unknown. He has been in office less than 3 months, obscured by the dominating figure of the president. Now he is president, the leader by chance of the greatest military coalition in history. At 7:09 p.m., Harry S. Truman takes the oath of office he never wanted to hold, assumes the responsibility for which he has had no time to be prepared or briefed. He says the moon, the stars, and all the planets just fell on him. He says, pray for me. He tells his cabinet no one can fill the void that has been left. He says he will try to carry on Roosevelt's policies. When the cabinet leaves, one man stays behind. 78-year-old Secretary of War Henry L. Stimson, weary of the iron road, with a secret he must now tell
he said. In the spring of 45, it was clear that the war against Germany would soon end. And so I began to ask myself, what is the purpose of continuing the development of the bomb? And how would the bomb be used if the war with Japan has not ended by the time we have the first bomb? Initially, we were strongly motivated to produce the bomb because we feared the Germans would get ahead of us. And the only way to prevent them from dropping bombs on us was to have bombs in readiness ourselves. But now with the war won, it was not clear what we were working for. And because of secrecy, there was no intermediate level in the government to which we could have gone for a careful consideration of these issues. The only man with whom we were sure we were entitled to communicate was the president. I knew any number of people who could have reached Roosevelt, but I know nobody offhand who could have reached Truman. Truman just did not move in the same circles.
As Harry Truman comes to speak for the first time to a joint session of Congress, he has much on his mind that takes priority over the atomic bomb. He is still fond